Now, let me tell you a story. Story of heroes, dreams, and something I'll never forget, because it will end up on my time hop later. I'm going to tell you the story of how my 3DS was stolen and retrieved. Let's go. So it all started Christmas Eve. I just got home from working a double shift at work. And for some odd reason, I thought I'd lock my car. I always lock my car every time, every day. So Christmas is one of those holidays that typically, everyone gets gifts. That's kind of how it is. Or it's a thought that counts, or, something nice. Well, this is my Christmas. I woke up, I was going to go to my parents to have a nice dinner with my family. Upon going to my car, I noticed that something was awry. I proceeded to look into my car and see that the glove box and the ARM console thing were both left open, and everything that was in my console was spread out in my passenger seat. At first, I didn't think anything of it because I thought nothing was wrong. Nothing was missing, nothing. I was wrong. Fast forward to the 28th. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm having a couple friends over. We're gonna play some Pokemon, maybe some Mario Party, all sorts of fun stuff. And then it dawns on me, I can't find my 3DS anywhere. I'm panicking, freaking out. I'm like, well, wait a minute, it's not my car because I remember bringing it in. Right? Wrong. So, it's not in my apartment, it's not in my office, it's not in my car. Then it clicked. They stole my 3DS out of my car. And then I began to panic and freak out, and I'm never going to see this thing again. Ever. Ever. So I call a cop over, file a police report. He tells me, hey, I love your Rick and Morty pop vinyls up there. Seriously, he said that. I'm being honest, he really did say that. But he said that he would keep an eye out in pawn shops, GameStops, and all that in the surrounding area. And it was up to me to keep track of Facebook and Craigslist, because they can't monitor that. There's no way they can. So, after my friends left, it was then that I died. I'm being honest, I actually died. I don't even recollect that night at all. At all. Jump forward the next day, next morning, Thursday, the 29th. I go to work. I'm depressed at this point. I didn't want to be there. Something, it was just not a great day. So I leave work at about noon. Get home into this office about 12:30, and I figured, you know what? I'm going to call every pawn shop in the area, see what's going on with that. Nothing. I check Facebook. Nothing. I check Craigslist, and this is where it begins. It was only up for about 5 minutes, but there it was. Zelda 3DS with all of my games up for sale. So I proceeded to text him and said, I'd like to buy that 3DS XL in games. He replied, it's available as of now. And then I replied back, alright, I'll take it. He replied back, call me. I call him. And then we arranged to meet back in my hometown, because apparently that's where this guy is from. I then proceed to call the authorities and be like, hey, my stuff was stolen. I'm meeting the guy right now who has my stuff. I want the cops here, so that way everything just goes smooth over. It just all comes together. This guy gets the swift justice. He gets taken out, and I get to be happy and alive again. The moment I found it on Craigslist, adrenaline, anger, and my heartbeat started again. So while I'm going to where we were going to meet, which was about 30 minutes away, then I proceeded to call my mother and told her, hey, I found my 3DS, but I need your car. And she said, well, I'll come with you, because you have no idea what kind of crazy psychopath this person is. Very true. And also at the same time, if this is the person who broke into my car, they know exactly what my car looks like. About 30 minutes away from him actually showing up, he called me. And he said, hey, this is your 3DS, isn't it? Internally, I'm thinking, shit. He knows. Oh God, I'm never going to see this again. Externally, Yeah. This is exactly what he said. Alright, now you ain't gotta lie to me or anything. Alright, now I know I'm an honest person. You don't worry, you ain't gotta call the cops or anything. I'm gonna give it back to you, because I thought it was a little weird that you weren't trying to Jew me down the price, because, you know, I set that up for, you know, $225. You know, I just thought it was something cool for my kid or whatever. You know, I just really want to get it back to you, I guess. You know, you don't need to call the cops or anything. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, totally. I lied. Little did he know, the cops were going to show up regardless of, no matter what he said, because he was in possession of stolen property. Well, upon meeting, we met at 2:25 p.m., which is, you know, a couple minutes early, because apparently he had an appointment there we were meeting at 2:30. So the cops aren't going to show up until 2:30. My goal was to talk to him long enough for the cops to show up, or at least make him feel safe, comfortable, to where he wouldn't want to leave. Granted, he has no reason to leave, as he has an appointment there at 2:30. So, what happens? 2:29 rolls around. I have my stuff in my hand. I go to my car. He gets in his car. 2:30 hits. Here comes the cops, and he's slowly trying to leave. And then I'm pointing to the cop like, hey, that's him right there. So, cop whirls down his window. He motions him to pull over. Then it gets interesting. So, the gentleman gets out of the car, as does the cop, as do I, and he wants to know what's going on. I tell him, like, hey, this is my stolen stuff, and he's like, well, you know, I bought this from some guy for $100 outside of a store in the mall. You know, thought it was cool, was gonna buy it for my kid, whatever, blah blah blah. So I thought that, you know, whenever he told me this, that was a little, you know, kind of, I don't know, unsettling, especially since he gave such a vague description of the person he bought it from. Bigger guy, early 20s, sweatshirt, sweatpants, hoodie, white shoes. You couldn't be more vague. After the cops are asking us all these questions, you know, he wants to see the 3DS, you know, make sure everything's there and accounted for, which it was. Then he's like, well, I have to keep the 3DS for evidence purposes, which, you know, that's completely understandable. You gotta make sure the serial numbers match and all this and that. Completely understand. Well, then this guy's like, okay, well, I got an appointment here at 2:30. Cop stops him, says, no, I need to take you downtown. I can ask you a couple questions, etc., etc. And then, you know, that's a little weird. You know, you had an appointment at 2:30. You're trying to peel out of here, and the cop's trying to stop you. That doesn't add up. That's a little weird. But anyway, so I don't hear anything back that day. So now let's go on to Friday, the 30th. I get a phone call, or I get a phone call in the afternoon saying, hey, is it okay if I come pick up my stuff now? I said, yeah. Good job. You can come get it. So I go get it. And I can safely say, it's all right here in this plastic bag. Which, this is actually the same plastic bag that the guy gave me. So, what's really weird about it, and as you'll see right here in this video, whenever I got the 3DS back in my possession, you'll see that, you know, I thought it was a little weird that the Wi-Fi was completely disabled. So whoever had this, whether it be him or someone prior, they knew that if the Wi-Fi was ever turned on, somehow I'd be able to track it down or trigger it. So that's someone knew something. Secondly, that the username had been changed, the birthday had been changed. I don't care. Theme had been changed. I don't care. But the big part was, you know, that the Wi-Fi was disabled, which I thought, you know, a bit unsettling. You know, because, you know, if you're a kid, you're gonna get this thing online and go do all sorts of cool stuff with it. They didn't do it. So I don't know what's going on there. All I know is I have my 3DS back. I have all my games back, which is awesome. And that they whoever had it before had this cheap little charger thing. It's not even Nintendo. I don't even know what this thing goes to. But it's apparently, I don't even know, but apparently charges like multiple DS devices or something. I don't even know. But I have everything back now. That's the important part. I have to thank the Bowling Green Police Department And I also have to sincerely thank the Morgantown City Police for helping me out. Gotta be honest, I genuinely thought I was Batman. I felt like Batman doing all this. I did all the detective work. I went through all the steps, but also at the same time, like, you know, it could have happened to anybody. You know, this is a 1,000,001 chance I even got all this stuff back, and I'm forever grateful. I can't believe it. It's awesome. Like, hands down. There is one thing that I did not get back, though. I didn't get the bag that I used to carry all this stuff around in, which, you know, upon looking on Amazon here, it's only like $10, $11. That's not too bad, considering the fact that I got it for free. So, yep. Well, anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble about this whole situation and scenario, and I hope it made you laugh, hope it made you chuckle. I hope that that this never happens to anyone, and if it does ever happen, please report it immediately to your local authorities, okay? Apparently there have also been some like break-ins into other cars in my neighborhood. Someone stole a gun, okay? Someone stole a gun, and they decided not to report it, which to me that's stupid. I mean, there's a serial number on that gun registered to you, so you know if it ever turns up or you shot and it kills someone, that's on you, buddy. Anywho, thank you for listening to me ramble about this. I'm Twiggeth, and bye-bye.